Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. I'm Elijah, and that's just the program that you're listening to. Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, so say the Lord of hosts. So, I think I better keep. This is the people. This is not by might, not by power, but by my spirit, says the Lord of hosts. So when you look at this paper, I know it's not in the best of light right now, but look down at Deuteronomy chapter 28 and chapter 7. Look down at that, like that. Then go to the top, and you see Zechariah chapter 4 and 6. And get much as information, and not on some of my other videos, it's a little bit better. But it's all about the lightning. The lightning in the camera. I'm not interested in none of that. I'm really not. I'm just interested in you knowing the Word of God, knowing these books, and going get and study who you are. You are Israel's. See, like I told you, let's get past this first. 3 books, banned from the Bible: Enoch, Jubilee, Hashir. Read Hashir first, then Jubilee, then Enoch. That's how that book is supposed to be written. Hashir from the time he left the garden, the first time to when the promise is. Jubilee is the prophecy of Moses. Everything that was going to happen to us from the time he left the garden until this day. And Enoch, the prophecy that was going to everything that was going to happen in the world from generation to generation. So now you know what that book is. The Apocrypha. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, prophecy, righteous judgment, execution of righteous judgments. That's the Apocrypha. You got to know your demons. The Testament of Solomon's the demons. The demons that these people over there right now are serving. And you think they are serving God, but they're not. And all that accumulated to what? The Holy Bible. Now they have other books out there. The Lord God haven't given to me that probably contribute to the Holy Bible also. But I don't have those books. So that's what the Lord God gives me. Now the other book that I'm looking for, it's the Gnostic Gospel of Mary. Gnostic Gospel. No, we don't even see it. The Gnostic Gospel of Mary, John. I showed you this book here. The Testament of the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs. Well, that's why I'm here. Turn the hearts back to the fathers to the children, the hearts back to the father. And they talk about this is our inheritance. This is of Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Dan, Issachar and Zebulun, Dan and Naphtali, Gad and Asher, and Joseph and Benjamin. Those are our fathers. They left us an inheritance, and that's our everlasting inheritance. That inheritance comes from Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, come from Noah, it comes from Enoch, Noah, Shem. Go way back farther than that, but that's our inheritance. Okay, I told you they were going to start messing with my videos, and even though this video, people haven't seen this video, I know one day you're going to see, somebody going to see this video besides me. And yeah, I listen to my video, my mouth is way past the sound. The sound in the mouth doesn't match up. But when I'm making a video now, man, it matches up. So if it's off, it's not even that split of a second off. But they have it way off. Man, they have it so off that you don't even want to watch it. So don't worry about that. It's not about watching these videos. It's about listening to them. So just listen to them. And like I told you, even if you listen to them, you can't bear my owns and and all those things of people that say, of people in the ghetto that say and how they speak. Because that's where I come from. I come from humble beginnings, and I hope my beginnings when I leave be humbled. But anyway, so these people are, especially our people highly educated. They didn't come here highly educated. Now, they had some that came here highly educated, but like I said, those that came over here highly educated, that's in one of my videos also about this man, but he was speaking Arabic. One reason how we got over here. One reason why we are over here from the beginning. So And our people was highly intelligent when they came over here, but we had to we had to learn their language and update things. Well, anyway, so anyway, just listen. If you can't listen, go get the books. I already told you what books you need and study those books. Don't just read them. So if you read them over the first time, get the gist of them, and you gotta be hungry and thirsty for them. So that's the book I'm looking for right now. The book where it tells you that Lord God tell you when He came back, He didn't find nobody hungry and thirsty. He didn't. He didn't find nobody hungry and thirsty. And that's something because I usually have all the books right up here before me. I just have them right here. I don't move them books around because I know here it is. The Gnostic Gospel. Because I told you, I don't move my books around. No, I leave them still right here. You know, because I done studied them. I might, well, anyway. So now we're going to go to, I know I usually tell the dreams, but before I get into the dreams, let's go to where I left off at. I left off on chapter 30 of Jubilees, and that's the sin that Reuben had did, the act that Reuben had did, and he tells about the act in the 12 patriarchs, but you can find that act also in the book of Jubilee, in chapter 30. Time Jubilee, chapter 30. And man, that's when you talk about the sin that no greater sin in Israel should be doing. We commit that fornication, man. They done wore us out with that fornication and that adultery. They done wore us out with that. So let's go. We're going to Zechariah. We're going to Zechariah. And in Zechariah, we're going to Zechariah, the seventh chapter, starting at verse 1. Like I said, I had a program on WBOK 12:30 a.m. in New Orleans, and it's on WBOK.com. And usually I just say the two dreams, then I go into reading the scriptures what the Lord God gives. So right now, that's what I'm doing. It came to pass in the 4th year of King Darius, that it was King Darius, that the word of the Lord came to Zechariah in the 4th day of the 9th month, even in Chislu, when they had sent unto the house of God Sherezer and Regamelech and their men to pray before the Lord, and say to pray before the Lord, and spake unto the priests when they were in the house of the Lord and the host, and to the prophets, saying, shall I weep in the 5th month, separate myself, as I have done these so many years? Then the word of the Lord came to the host unto them, saying, speak unto all the people of the land, and to the priests, saying, when ye fast and mourn the 5th and 7th month, even those 70 years did you at all fast unto me, even to me? So you have the 70 years, so you know it's 70 years. We have been in captivity another 70 years. 70 years started in 1948. That's when the 70 years started, 1948. So that was the Lord God really he showed me that it started in 1948. So you have this page to say the 2 years that are left. That was for me to come about. So that 2 years and a half years was about. That was a prophecy of me. Okay, so now let's go. All right. Should you not hear the words which the Lord hath cried by the former prophets, when Jerusalem was inhabited and in prosperity, and the cities thereof round about her, when men inhabit the south in the plain? And the word of the Lord came unto Zechariah, saying, thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, saying, execute true judgment, and show mercy and compassion every man to his brother, and oppress not the widow, nor the fatherless. So when he said oppress not the widow, nor the fatherless. Well, who's a widow? That's a woman that has no husband, so she can be a single. She can be a single parent. Yeah, that's what they say. That's a single parent because she has no husband. She a widow. Nor the fatherless. So who's the fatherless? That's what again. That's children. Like now today, right now today. That's what he's talking about today. About the fatherless children. You got all those young men out there who fathers are not with them. The stranger, nor the poor. And let none of you imagine evil against his brother in your heart. Nobody. But they refuse to hearken, pull away their shoulder, you know how they do, pull away the shoulder and stop their ears that they should not hear. Yea, they have made their hearts as an adamant stone, lest they should hear the law and the words which the Lord of hosts has sent in his spirit by the former prophets. Therefore came a great wrath from the Lord of hosts. Therefore came a great wrath from the Lord of hosts. Now, during King Darius, Darius, during his time, during his kingdom time, they was in Babylon. They was in Babylon, but he was talking about this now. Today he was talking about. That's why he said, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, lest they should hear the law and the words which the Lord of hosts has sent in his spirit by the former prophets. That's all those prophets that were before me. Therefore came a great wrath from the Lord of hosts. Therefore it has come to pass that as he cried, they would not hear, so they cried, I would not hear, say the Lord of hosts. So that's what I'm doing. I'm steadily crying and telling you who you are. You're Israel. You're not a Jew, you're Israel. Those people over there, not of you, you're Israel. You have a Lord God made an everlasting covenant with you. All you have to do is repent with your whole heart and keep his covenant, keep his holy commandments. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, read Deuteronomy chapter 7, and then let the Lord God start teaching you. That's all I can do is just tell you. But I scattered them with a whirlwind among all nations whom they knew not. Thus the land was desolate after them, that no man passed through nor returned, for they laid the pleasant land desolate. So if he did scatter us all among all the nations whom they knew not. So that's where we are. We're still in captivity. Thus the land was made desolate after them, that no man passed through nor returned. So, man, them people over there are not of you. They're not of you. God gonna destroy that place. Watch and see. Again, the word of the Lord is real. Keep watching. Again, the word of the Lord of hosts came to me, saying, Thus say the Lord of hosts, I'm jealous for Zion with great jealousy, and I was jealous for her with great fury. Thus say the Lord, King Darius, King Darius. Thus say the Lord, that's the running joke. Thus say the Lord, I return unto Zion and will dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, and Jerusalem shall be called a city of truth, and the mountain of the Lord of hosts, the holy mountain. So, yes, I've seen the mountain of the Lord of hosts. Yeah, I've seen it. Oh yeah, he made sure that I've seen that mountain. Yeah. Thus say the Lord of hosts, there shall yet old men and old women dwell in the streets of Jerusalem, and every man with a staff in his hand for a very age. For a very age. And the streets of the city shall be full of boys and girls playing in the streets thereof. Thus say the Lord of hosts, if it be marvelous in the eyes of the remnant of this people in these days, shall it also be marvelous in my eyes, say the Lord of hosts? Thus say the Lord of hosts, behold, I will save my people from the east country and from the west country. So that's what he said, that's what he's going to do. But everything depends upon us. We could have been out this bondage. No, we couldn't. We couldn't have been out. I'm saying that, but we couldn't have been out this bondage. We had to do the 490 years. We had to do that. And these last 70 years, we had to do the last 70 years. All right, I'm going to find that for you. Thus say the Lord of hosts, let your hands be strong, ye that hear these days, these words by the mouth of the prophets, which were in the day that the foundation of the house of Lord of hosts was laid that the temple might be built. Yep. You know, the Lord God has showed me a lot of things, and it's time, well, I'm gonna tell you more about it. For before these days were no hire for man, nor any hire for the beast. Neither was there any peace to them that went out and came because of the affliction. For I said every man, everyone against his neighbor. So you know that's coming. I have said every man, everyone against his neighbor. That Bird Box movie, but I took it in the book of it's in one of those videos. I took it in the book of Enoch and showed you about one of the destructions. So he's going to do all those destruction at the same time. Watch. But now will not be unto this residue of this people as in former days, said the Lord. But now I will, Zechariah chapter 8, verse 11. But now I will not be unto a residue of the people as in former days, said the Lord of hosts. For the seed shall be prosperous, the vine shall give her fruit, and the ground shall give her increase, and the heaven shall give her dew. And I will cause the remnant of this people to possess all these things, the remnant. The remnant. And it shall come to pass that as you was cursed among the heathen, O house of Judah and the house of Israel, so will I save you, and you shall be a blessing. Fear not, but let your hands be strong. So the Lord God is telling you this. Fear not, let your hands be strong. That's prayer. That's prayer. Yeah, let your hands be strong. That's what you do with your hands. You pray. What Israel do with their hand? Pray. What Judah do with their hand? Pray. O house of Judah and house of Israel. Yeah. Pray. And fear not. So you're going to have to repent with your whole heart. Keep that holy covenant Sabbath day. And repent. For thus said the Lord of hosts, as though to punish you when your faults provoked me to wrath, said the Lord of hosts, and I repented not. So again, have I thought in these days to do well unto Jerusalem, to the house of Judah, fear not. Because that's what we're going to do. When you go back over there, man, it ain't going to be the same. Because the Lord going to shake the heaven and earth. So when he shake the heaven and earth, those secret things that are covered up, they're going to be uncovered. And you're going to see, because he didn't show me already. And they're going to be uncovered, man, and you're going to be so happy. Bro, you're going to be happy, man. You're going to have it all. These are the things that you should do. Speak every man the truth to his neighbor. Execute judgment of truth and peace in your gates. And let none of you imagine evil in your hearts against his neighbor. And love no false oath. For all these are things that I hate, said the Lord. Okay? So let none of you imagine evil in your hearts against his neighbor. The main thing that we're doing, and I'm going to go there. Yeah, I'm going there. We're getting deep into this. And I told you, as time goes on, it was going to get deep and serious. Yeah, it's going to get deep and serious. More deep and serious. Just like, I'm going to tell you about the 70 years. We're going to go into 70 years. But I got something else to tell you. Really, I'm not just going to tell you. I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to read it to you. So let me get finished this, then I'll go back and read it to you. So this what he said. Let none of you imagine even your hearts against his neighbor, and love no false hope. For all these things that I hate, said the Lord. So you got a lot of false hope. What, the prejudice of the flag? That's a false hope. These people have never ever treated you right. You was a slave when you came over here, and you're a servant now. But you know, like Colin Kaepernick, man, they should be happy that man got on one knee and did what he did on one knee. They should be happy, because if it was me, I would have crushed him. Oh yeah, and that day still might come when they see me crush him, because I'll crush him. Oh yeah, that was that. So he should be happy that Colin Kaepernick got on that one knee and humbled himself before that flag. So they should be happy of that. All right. And the word of the Lord of hosts came unto this. Then he said, let no man imagine even the hearts against his neighbor, and love no false hope. All these things, he said he hates those things. The Lord God said he hates. So that's what he doing. That's what he did. That when you come up in there, and every morning we had to go to school, we have to stand up and say, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. Come on, man. Then you got that old with that song that they sing. at the anthem, American anthem, man, bunch of falsos and lies. Because you never been free. That American dream, that's not for you. That's for them. And the word of the Lord of hosts came unto me, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the fast of the 4th month, the fast of the 5th, and the fast of the 7th, the fast of the 10th shall be to the house of Judah for joy and gladness and cheerfulness feast. Therefore love the truth and peace. So now, when he talking about those fasts of the 4th, the fast of the 7th, the fast of the 10th, well, those are no more. Listen to me now. Those are no more than the feast days. The feast day of Noah, when Noah came, he had a feast day. Yeah, Noah came, he gave a feast day. And the gathering of fruits, and then they had the feast days for Abraham. All the feast days are in this book. All the feast days in the book. So what they try to do, they try to take the feast days from you and give you holidays, which means nothing. What mean nothing, man? You serving all them pagan gods and them holidays. Man, that don't mean nothing, bro. Come on now. Come on, you serving the Halloween, the Devil's Day. You serving Thanksgiving, a day where you didn't slaughter out one people and made them subservient to you. And then we're gonna get into Christmas and all those feast days, that all those holidays, because that's what y'all call them holidays. We're gonna get into that, but the Lord God wants you to keep the days that are significant, like the day of Abraham when he went up there and it was gonna slay Isaac. The feast day when our father our father Jacob went to see Isaac, and Isaac made in this book right here. Let's see, it's in this book. Go to Levi and see when his brother, when they went to visit, and also and we read in Jubilee chapter 30 when Reuben worked that work. That's what he did. And then Abraham blessed Levi and he blessed Judah. And so he gave Judah the sun and gave Levi the moon. I mean, gave Levi the sun and gave Judah the moon. So you gotta know that's what the Lord God tell you. Observe the feast days and the meaning of, learn the meaning of them and what they mean. And Judah for joy and gladness, cheerful feast, therefore love the truth and peace. So these things really happen. They really celebrate these things. The other stuff that them holidays give pagan gods and stuff, man, go learn what the feast days are. Thus said the Lord of hosts, it shall yet come to pass that there shall come people and inhabitants of many cities. And the inhabitants of one city shall go to another, saying, Let us go speedily to pray before the Lord, and to seek the Lord of hosts, I will go also. Yea, many people and strong nations shall come to seek the Lord of the hosts at Jerusalem, and to pray before the Lord. Thus say the Lord of hosts, in those days shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold of all languages of nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, saying, We will go with you, for we have heard that God is with you. So, but those people over there, man, the people not Jews, sure not. Oh yeah. So then you go on to the 9th chapter and you get into those prayers. Okay. Let's go to. I said I was gonna bring it to you. We're going to Hasher, the book of Hasher, Jasher, and in the book of Hasher, we're gonna go to Father Abraham, and when Abraham tells you about the gods that the Lord God talking about you serving. That's what he's doing. That's what the Lord God. What you think this is about? It's about the false gods that you're serving. And Father Abraham knew. Yeah. All right. So I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find. You know, I can read you anything, but I'm not gonna read you anything. because at the time Nimrod was in charge of everything. Nimrod. And what Nimrod did, he had the people up on him serving him. And so what they served, they were serving, let's go to, this how Nimrod came in power. Let's go to chapter 7. Hashir chapter 7. And when we go to Hashir chapter 7, we're going to go to verse 30. Nimrod became strong when he put on the garment, and God gave him might and strength, and he was a mighty hunter in the earth. He was a mighty hunter in the field, and the hunted animals, and built altars, and offered on them animals before the Lord. All right, so that's how Nimrod started out, but you know he didn't end up that way. That's how he started out. So as Nimrod grew and became more stronger, and he became over all the world, Nimrod became wicked. Yeah, he became wicked. He was the most wicked man on the face of the earth. That's right. He was the most wicked man on the face of the earth. So, all right, let's go to, they wanted to kill Abel. They wanted to kill Abel. Yeah, just like Jesus, when Moses and Jesus, they always did the same thing. Always did. King Nimrod, 15 verse, the king said to Terah, I have been told that the sun was last night born to you after this manner were observed in the heavens as his birth. That's when Abram was born. And now therefore give me the child that we may kill him before the evil springs up against us, and I will give you for his value your house full of silver and gold. So that's after the dream. That's in chapter 8. So after the dream, they wanted to kill Abraham. Abram, his name was Abram. And they wanted to kill him. And Nimrod wanted to give him silver and gold for the child. So what type of price would you put on a man's life, on a child's life? I'm just telling you. All right, now, the gods that they were serving. So, you know, Terah was Abraham's father. All right, so Terah, this chapter 9. This chapter 9, I'll start in verse 8. And Terah, 12 gods of large size made of wood, stone, after 12 months of the year. And he served each one monthly. And every month Terah would bring his meat offering, drink offering to his God. Thus did Terah all his days. All his days, all right? Let's go. Bring it back to you. These are the gods that he served. Terah, 12 gods, large size, made of wood and stone. After the 12 months of the year, and he served each one monthly, and every month Terah would bring his meat off and drink off to his gods. Thus did Terah did all his days. So do you want to know where you're serving those gods at? I'm just telling you, all I can do is just point it out and tell you where it's come from, and show you that well, I'm gonna get a little deeper than that into it. Now we should get let's go to verse 20. We're still on the same page, chapter 9, the Hashir, J-A-S-H-E-R, and we're on verse 20. And King Nimrod reigned securely all the earth under his control, and all the earth was of one tongue and of the words of viewing. And all the prince of Nimrod, the great men, took counsel together, Put, Masterim, Cush, Canaan with their families, and they said to each other, Come, let us build ourselves a city and a strong tower, top reaching up to heaven, that we make ourselves fame and may reign the whole earth, in order that the evil of our enemies may cease for us, and that we may reign mightily over them, and that we may not become scattered over the earth according to their walls. So that's when they start building the Tower of Babel. I won't go get into that, because when Nimrod had the coat that was woven for Adam, and that's how he became strong. And how did he got the coat? How did he get the coat? Let's see. Let's go back to chapter 7. And Cush, the son of Ham, the son of Noah, took a wife in those days and gave birth to a son, and that he called his name Nimrod, saying, at the time the son began to rebel and go contrary to God, and grew up, and his father loved him greatly, and he was the son of his old age. The garment of the skin which God had made, verse 24, chapter 7, verse 24, the garments of the skin which God made for Adam and his wife when they went out of the garden was given to Cush. That's one of Ham's son, Cush. Okay. Now we're gonna skip down and we go. All right, we can start at 25th verse. After the death of Adam, his wife, the garment was given to Enoch, the son of Jared. Even Enoch was taken up with God and gave them to Methuselah, his son. At the death of Methuselah, Noah took them and brought them to the ark, and they was with him until he went out of the ark. Now, this is the code. And there going out, Ham stole the garments from Noah, his father, and took them and hid them from his brothers. Ham stole the coat. And when Ham first born Cush, he gave him the garments in secret that were with Cush many days. Many days. And Cush also concealed them from his sons and brothers. And Cush had begotten Nimrod, and he gave them those garments through his love for him. And Nimrod grew up, and he was 20 years old when he put on those garments. And so that's when he became strong. And other things happened to him because the coat was holy. Yeah, the coat was holy. If you go read, if you listen, I listened to it, the story of Adam and Eve and how the coat was made, then you know that the coat had special powers and special spirits into that coat. People don't believe that, but things that people wear. That's why when they say they touched the hem of the Jesus garment, and that woman was healed. Oh yeah, that's a true thing. I can verify to things of that nature. All right, let's go. All right, so we know where the coat was. We know how he became strong. So we know those things, and we know that not just Abraham was not just Terah was serving them gods, but Nimrod had everybody serving those gods. All right, let me see. All right, I'm going to skip. If you go read in the 8th chapter, it also tells you how Terah took a one of his handmaid children, and gave to Nimrod, and he took it. Now, this is something very important too. Now, just listen to it. This is something very important too that I want you to learn. I want you to know this. This is when I tell you something, it's important. It's not just something that you can say, well, you know, this is important. All right, now we go to chapter 9. Chapter 9. When Abraham came, because what happened, this was happening, because a lot of people don't know this. All right. We're going to start at the 8th chapter, 32nd verse. And it was on the 3rd day that Cain sent to Terah, saying, send me your son for a price I spoke to you, and should you not do this, I will send and kill all you have in your house, so that you should not even have a dog remaining. So that's Nimrod telling him he's going to kill it all. And Terah heard the things that was urged from the king. He took the child from one of his servants, which he had a handmaid that had born to him that day. And Terah brought the child to the king and received value for the king. And the Lord was with Terah in this matter, and Nimrod that might not cause Abram's death. And the king took the child from Terah with all his might, dashed his head to the ground. That's Nimrod killing the child. For he thought that it was Abram. This was concealed from him from that day, and it was forgotten by the king, and it was well with the providence not to suffer Abram's death. Now, we're going to stop right there. And the reason why I'm stopping right there is, as I want you to know this here. Man, they ain't never stopped trying to kill us. Now, that's Abram's death. That's when you first written of them trying to kill us, to kill our nation. That's the first time that it was written down. Okay, now that's Nimrod. Now that's our people. Now that Nimrod not know anybody. Nimrod was king to us. All right, so now flash forward today, they're doing the same thing. What you think abortion is? See how you smash that baby head? What you think abortion is? Why you think they into that abortion stuff? Come on, man. Come on, bro. When y'all going? See, I don't care what you say about me. Don't. And anybody that served Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the 12 brothers, they didn't care what you tell them about. All they was worried about was serving the Lord their God. That's all. That's all they care about. That's all they were. Serving the Lord their God and loving their neighbors. Those two things they did. Our people did. Our people mercy. Right, anyway, let's get back to the lesson. Get back to the lesson. All right, so we know that. And the Lord will put terror in his mouth that Nimrod might not cause Abram death. The king took the child Terah with his might, dashed his head to the ground that he brought that he thought had been Abram. This was concealed from him from that day that it was forgotten by the king, and it was well with the providence not to suffer Abram's death. Now, and Terah took Abraham his son secret together with his mother and nurse, and he concealed them in a cave, and he brought them their provision monthly. Sealed them in a cave and brought them provision monthly. That's what they have Abraham now. But we getting to the point. I'm getting to the point. Don't worry, I'm getting to the point. All right, now, so he took him to the cave. The Lord was with Abram in the cave, and he grew up, and Abram was in the cave 10 years, and the king and his princes, soothsayers, and sages thought the king had killed Abram. So God hid all that from the soothsayers, the sages, to all the king. Because all that's been gone. Where you think Nahor and Baal and all the people came from? Just wait, we getting to that. We're going to get to that. But like I said, now we're going deep. Now we know that the gods that they served was made of wood and stone, Terah. And he served each god one day out of the month. He served each god. Man, what you think? Man, come on, bro. What you think about the zodiac signs and all that? Let's go. And Haran, the son of Terah, Abram's oldest brother, took a wife in those days. Haran was 30 years old and took her wife and conceived and gave birth to a son and called his name Lot. So you know where Lot comes. She conceived and gave birth to a daughter and called her name Milcah, M-I-L-C. And she received and gave birth to a daughter and called her name. Now Milcah, she again conceived and gave birth to a daughter called her name Sarai. So now you know where Sarai and them come. And Haran was 42 years old when he had Sarai, and in the 10th year of the life of Abram. So that's why they was only 10 years apart. In those days, Abram and his mother and nurse went out of the cave, and the king and his subject had forgotten about the affairs of Abram. Had forgotten about it. Okay, that's God. So when Abram came out the cave, he went. When Abram came out the cave, he went to Noah and his son Shem. He went to Noah and his son Shem, and he remained with them to learn the instruction of the Lord and his ways. No man knew where Abram was, and Abram served Noah and Shem, his son, for a long time. So now you know who Noah is, know Shem, and you know Abrams. You know that connection now. Because see, these people be teaching you all that foolishness, man. The people don't know. How they don't know? Because I didn't know. And I didn't know because they taught me. And they didn't know. They don't know right now today. They don't. Now they might have some that do know, even wicked, like those even wicked Jews over there. They know. They know who we are. Then you got some of the 7 tribes. They know who we are. Not I'm saying the 7 tribes, but we talking about the Amorites. They know who we are. People know who we are, and they know one day we're gonna wake up, which is that time now. We're gonna repent with our whole heart, keep all our commandments, and just like Just like our Father said, when that day come, oh man, that's the end. That's the end and a new beginning. So we're going to get to that too. All right. So Abraham was in Noah's house 39 years. And Abraham knew the Lord from 3 years old and went in the ways of the Lord until the day of his death. And Noah and his son Shem had taught him. And all the sons of the earth in those days greatly went contrary to the Lord, and they rebelled against him, and they served other gods. They forgot the Lord who created them in the earth, and inhabitants of the earth made to themselves at that time every man his gods, gods of wood and stone, which they could neither speak, hear, nor deliver. And the sons of men served them, and they became their gods. So what you think happening now today? Man, I know people, bro, and bought them cars, an expensive car. You better not touch that car. You better not go put your hand on that car unless you waxing it or shining. That's right. Oh yeah, and you scratch that car and it's like you can kill them. Then you got people with that jewelry on. They have all that gold and stuff up. You better not go touch none of that stuff. That's their gold, man. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Then they have them big old mansions, them houses. That's their goals, bro. And the king and all his servants Terah with all the household with the first of those that served gods of wood and stone. So that's the king. So you know who the king was? The king was Nimrod. And all his servant Terah and all his households was the first of those to serve the gods of wood and stone. So now you know where that come from. That come from Nimrod. And they're still doing it today. They're still doing it today. All right. So after that, the Lord taught him. Then I go and tell you how Nimrod controlled the whole earth. So my time is almost up. I only got 3 minutes. So now you know where those things come from. And they're still doing it today. Nimrod started it, and they're still doing it. I'm talking about serving them gods. I mean serving them. Made a god for each month of wood and stone, and that's what they serve each day that they did that. So you know where that came from. Okay, dream that I had. This is the dream after Trump got in office. And it was so much. I might have that dream written down somewhere. If I run across it, I tell you, the Lord God showed me about it. One of those pickle jars, one of the big pickle. You know them pickles. Come, let me hold it up here. One of those big pickle jars. So they had a pickle jar, and the pickle jar had this in it. The pickle jar had oil and water in it. That's what he showed. The pickle jar with oil and water, and it was separated. That's what he showed. Showed oil on top and water by it. Was pretty. Then he showed me a penny. And the penny was a penny. You know, Abraham Lincoln? And on the top, they had Abraham Lincoln head, and on the bottom, they had the Abraham, but they had a line between it. See, a rare penny, half printed, they had half of the head on, they had the head on the top and the head on the bottom. Shot the police. So that's what they had. They have other things on here, but I'm not going to say those right now. And all they do is complain. So we complain about, man, we complain about nothing. So we complain about nothing. Nothing that we complain about. So now, hopefully, you're getting more instruction, more things. More things. I'm just looking for certain things to see something that catches my eye. See something catch my eye. So the Lord has shown me that this country is divided. This country is divided and divided because that was the rare penny was said. That's what that means. And he showed me the adamant stone way back before it even started, before Trump got in office. He showed me a penny. That's how he showed me America, because America is a union. So when you see the Abraham Lincoln penny, that represents them becoming a union, one nation, one union. that was that me. And so when he showed me the first penny, he showed me, and it was it might have been 1949 or something on that penny. And he showed me that, and that penny had that red, white, and blue stripes on it. And then he showed me a cave. That's my time. Then he showed me a cave, and in this cave, they had these people up there. That was after the destruction. He showed me the destruction of America, and he showed me how there was in the buildings. The front of the buildings was down, and the people was inside these buildings, and the front of it was down, and that's how they lived. Yep. And then the Apple Trump guy in the office, might have been a couple of years ago now. But he showed me that Bible, like I saw, he showed me that jar, and it was oil and water, and then he showed me the two halves of the penny. And that's what the Lord God had showed me. Showing the dividing of this nation, showing the destruction of this nation. God, you know, I told you, God has shown me there's a lot more that He has showed me that I'm not telling you yet, because once you find out how it goes, then it's going to be strong. But you got to remember that you are Israel. You're not a Jew. And you're different. You're different. You're a holy people. And this is where you come from. You see that house? The house of Abraham, Noah and Shem. That's where you come from. That's our bloodline. That's our people. And you know, Noah was found grace in the Lord. You know, Enoch was righteous. We know that. We know that Noah found grace in the sight of the Lord. We know that. We know that Shem was of holiness. That's Melchizedek. Yeah, when I read that to you in another lesson. Listen to one of my other lessons. And I read that to you after Abraham did all that when he got Lot as he promised and kept that promise. And what he did, he went to Melchizedek, who was Shem, and they broke bread at where they was at in Canaan. Come on, man, that's our Canaan's our home, man. When you talk about Jerusalem, all that's nothing but Canaan. That's all that is. That's Canaan. Now they might say that when Jesus turned to the water and wine, that's a part of it, but man, come on. You should know things by now. You should know certain things by now. But anyway, so I'm just here for a second or two. So we know about the gods, what Nimrod did, the gods that Nimrod was serving, the 12 gods. We know that these 12 gods are false gods. So we know that. And we know Shem was, know that Abraham was taught by Noah and Shem for 39 years. So it's a lot in this book. Go get this, you know, not by might, not by power, bad from the Bible. Then you really don't need to know those things. If the Lord God is with you and He don't want you to know those things, that's fine and dandy. But you know you have to be baptized in Jesus' name. And you know you have to keep all 10 commandments, especially the covenant day, the Sabbath day. And you know you have to do that. You have to do that. So those things, why to take a hold of salvation? Not by might, not by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. And I guess I'll title this video, Abram. Oh, well, not might title it something else. But anyway, not by might, not by power, but by my spirit. I'm going to title it something else. It'll come to me. Lord God will give it to me.